to another episode of Asexualized, My Asexual Life. This is a place for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, which is out on Amazon. I'm also the founder of asexualized.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Hello, Andy. Hello, Michael. This is my second attempt to do this. You might have noticed that I went live and then stopped again, and I had to delete that whole video because it froze, and I had to start the whole thing over again. So I'm really sorry if you jumped on, you didn't notice. That was lucky. It just froze, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. Technical difficulties. Yeah, Scary Jerry. I don't understand why though, because I updated my iPad recently because it was freezing before, and since I updated my that's good, Michael. Yes, Scary Jerry was asking about technical difficulties, but it's really weird because I was fine before. I'm just going to pull my window down as well because it's rattling. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll just put it down a bit more. See if it works. No, it's probably not going to work. I'll stick some scissors in there. Don't do this at home. Don't stick scissors in your window at home. But just in case you cut your finger. But yeah, that stopped it from rattling because it's annoying else. So you can see I've got quite a lot of tinsel around the whole place now. I don't know if you can see that, by the way. Decorations and all sorts of stuff going on here. Yeah, so I'll put you back down now, otherwise you'll get a bit seasick going up there. So today I want to talk to you about my asexuality highlights of 2018. I thought it's time to have a bit of a celebration here. Whoop whoop! And say some of my highlights of 2018 because there has been many highlights actually. Hi Heather, nice to see you. So I've got Scary Jerry, I've got Heather, Andy, and I've also got Michael on tonight. So this is wonderful. Thank you for joining me. So I thought it's really important to take stock of how the year's been in terms of asexuality. And I thought it's time for some real positivity and to look back at this year and to think what's been absolutely awesome. And the highlight of my whole, well, there's been quite a few highlights this year, but you know, what's been absolutely amazing is this year I've met 3 really awesome guys who I'm absolutely good friends with. One of them is watching now. His name's Andy. So he is incredible. And I get on really well with him, and he's really, really good friend. And I'm so glad he's in my life. So thank you, Andy. And then I have Levi, otherwise known as Livius, who I met at the UK Asexuality Conference. He has become such an amazing friend. And then I got my best friend forever, Sam. You're welcome, Andy. I'm glad you watched this episode. I'm like, oh, it's going to have you in it. So it's a good job you told me you were going to watch it. And then I have Sam, who's my BFF, best friend forever. He came to one of my meetups and he'd been in my dating groups before, and I just knew after spending 4 days with him that I totally trusted him, which is very weird. I don't usually trust a guy like that. And yeah, he's naked repulsed like me, so that really helps because there's not many people that in the world that are naked repulsed that are asexuals even, you know. So that really helped. We both like watching like really very cartoonish type kid films. We went to when there was a asexual meetup a few months ago. We went to the cinema before the Saturday because before the actual main meetup we went on Saturday morning to watch a film. We ended up watching Paw Patrol together. It was hilarious, right? Paw Patrol is for kids that are about 3 to 5 years old. And we went to Kids Club together and we watched it, and it was just so funny. And there was no one else in there apart from these 2 older women, right? And it's such a funny story. And so basically these 2 women, and we were halfway, must have been at least halfway through the film, these 2 women came down and they started talking to me going, oh, we've come to see this film, but this is not the film that's on the ticket. And I said, yes, but they said, oh, this is the right screen. And I said, yes, but that's the wrong week. The movie that you're talking about seeing is on this weekend, but not in this screen. And this week, and the film you're talking about that you've bought tickets for is for the following weekend, not this weekend. So they got tickets to a different film at a different weekend. But because it was actually, that's how they got mixed up. Sorry, it said the screen it was in, but it's in that screen the following week because they got the times mixed up with the films. And so they sat through the Paw Patrol for half an hour. And they said to me and Sam, so they said, have you actually paid to see this? And we looked and going, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay. And off they went. It was so funny. And in this Paw Patrol, they've got like miniature cartoons, different ones. So about 5 or 6 cartoons in one big one, if you know what I mean. And one of these cartoons, me and Sam were just, bear in mind these 2 women are gone. We've got the whole cinema to ourselves, the screen to ourselves. And we were making these chicken noises to the actual movie. We're going, brah, 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 brah. And it was just so funny. And it was just such an asexual moment, you know, because we're both naked repulsed. We're not intersex. And we were just having an awesome time just watching the cartoons and making noises. And that's how I think life should be, to be quite honest. I think we should be embracing our quirky, embracing our inner child, and we should be doing fun things like that with our life. Do you know what I mean? You only live once, and you should be embracing your very childlike side. It's great. Me and him had an absolute fun time. We're so laughing our heads off, and what I loved about spending time with him is that I could relax around a guy, being completely myself, watching really young kids movies, like younger than I'd even probably watch on my own, and you know, and we'd get on so well over it. Do you know what I mean? I felt really comfortable in his company and felt really good I could do that around a guy. You know, I'd like to obviously find a romantic partner in the future to be able to be as comfortable as that around. Because I was just so comfortable around him. We're not suitable to be together romantically, but he's my best friend, so that's amazing. So I've met these 3 amazing, incredible guys that are in my life, and you know, I couldn't be happier in that respect. We're all friends with each other now as well, and so we all message each other, and it just feels good to have like that tight-knit family community of asexuals. It's like, or sort of, we're like, I feel like we're all each other's like home, if you know what I mean. I feel like when I'm with the 3 guys, Andy, Livius and Sam, I feel like they're my home, if you know what I mean. In terms of friendship, I feel like I really belong with them, and that we're a family. Like, it's really weird to explain, but I've never had that experience before in my life. So that's got to be one of my whole highlights for, you know, 2018. And obviously the UK Asexuality Conference I got to speak at, which was on the 8th of July in London. That was absolutely sensational. I've never spoke before publicly like that, and it was just incredible. It was my first experience of proper public speaking. I've spoke once in a group of about 32 people for when I was a teacher. I was speaking to other teachers. We had like this thing we had to do presentation in front of other tutors. So, but you know, I've never done public speaking like it's similar to a stage because it had tiered seating. It was in a university though, but business university in London, but it was incredible. And I did a whole 45-minute talk on my own with questions and answers. Sam was my guest though, and he did so well because he's got mental health difficulties, and he managed to get up on stage and speak in front of everyone. And he was looking at me nearly the whole time, but he did incredible. And, you know, and I know I've changed his life, you know. I know he's told me since coming to the meetups I've changed his life. And I know Andy's life has changed as well since coming to my meetup. So I'm really happy that I can, you know, that I can help those people in my life. And Livius I met through the UK Asexuality Conference. I immediately said he was beautiful. He is foreign. He's very beautiful aesthetically. And, you know, and I'm so glad that he, you know, like some people get worried about telling people stuff like that. But I guess I've got the personality where I just say what I think and what I mean. And luckily he took it the right way. And we've become really good friends ever since. So he doesn't mind that I think he's aesthetic. I can't help that I find him aesthetically good looking because he's foreign and he's the look I like. So yes, this year has changed my life. It's an amazing feeling to be at one of your meetups. Thank you, Andy. It's so nice to see you. It's lovely. Yeah. So it's really good. And yeah, I'm really feeling thankful and grateful for all the asexuals that have come into my life. I mean, these 3 guys are amazing. They've shown me what a good guy is now as well. So I do have even more higher standards for a relationship partner. Like, I can detect more quickly now when guys are not good enough for me, or really, you know, they're just not good to be in a relationship with, full stop. You know, maybe they're good for some other people, but not for me. And so I'm able to detect now signs very quickly of a bad guy, or a guy that's not telling the truth, or a guy that's, you know, that couldn't be a good partner for me, because the qualities across these three guys, you know, the different qualities, they've kind of all got some different qualities that I would like in a partner. So Levi is like the look I like, and aesthetically very attractive, and he's super intelligent, and his age is the exact age I would go for, and his intelligence is super attractive, and his intelligence, he's far advanced for his years, and that is why I like younger guys. People don't understand how it could work in age gap relationship. He's seeing a guy, by the way, and the guy's much older than him, and I was really interested to hear that recently, because I didn't know the guy was older than him. So yeah, but I don't want to go into that, because obviously that's their business, not anyone else's. So yeah, but it's just interesting, you know, that it's just really interesting that, you know, the type of guy he is, as in terms of intelligence, young guy, that's the type of guy I usually go for in terms of intelligence. There's other guys I've met like that are young and foreign, and people don't really understand how a guy in his early 20s can be suited to someone who in birth certificate age like me is older than them. But it's because they're super advanced for their years, if you know what I mean. So because they're super advanced for their years, it means that their brain is the equivalent of an older person's, if you know what I mean. And the experience that sort of an older person birth certificate age brings to the table that they can learn from means it's a good dynamic. So that's why an older and younger person can work out if they're a good match. Obviously, you know, we're not suitable, me and him, for a relationship, because he's an aromantic person, more into guys, and, you know, we're just really, really good friends. I can't help being aesthetically attracted to him, because he's just the look I would usually like. I can't help that. But you know, and so that's how it can work. So it's really given me hope, though, by being such good friends with him and talking to him regularly and having deep, meaningful conversation with him. It's really given me hope that my asexual foreign younger soulmate is out there, because I get on so well with him as a friend. Then that is quite transferable into how it would be with the younger guy, but obviously with the romantic component in it. So that's been a really good highlight for me, you know, being able to just have him as a friend he's only just turned 23. So to be able to have a guy who's, you know, who's not like, oh, you know, like not worried about my birth certificate age, and who's really, you know, respecting me as a friend and valuing me as a good friend and keeping in touch, and who's learning from me and I'm learning from him, and I really respect him. I mean, he's so intelligent, he's doing so much stuff, and those qualities all love. So kind of like with him, I like his aesthetics, I like his intelligence, and the older younger dynamic with him. That's what I would like in a partner. And then with my friend Sam, he you know, the comfortability around him, I would like those qualities in a partner. The way I 100% trust him, those would be quite good qualities to have in a partner. And then with my friend Andy, we have really deep, meaningful conversations, particularly in email, like really, really deep. And so that would be really good as well in terms of a soulmate type of person, to have those qualities in a guy. So it's kind of like, you know, I get from those friendships sort of different qualities that I would get in a relationship, but obviously it's different, because a relationship, there would be all the romantic side, the kissing, the physical contact that I don't have with just my friends. You know, I don't go around kissing just my friends, you know, and I don't necessarily, you know, apart from Levi, who's foreign looking, you know, I'm not into like kissing British guys, even though I'm not, you know, other people might be. It's just because I don't get that aesthetically attracted to someone enough to want to kiss them when they're British. Do you see what I'm saying? Not because they're, you know, not because they're not beautiful in their own right. It's just that I don't get that. So, but it's been really nice, because I've got all those qualities that I love in a partner, in three guys as my friends. Obviously, I'm missing still all the romantic element and the the deep romantic soulmate side of things, that I haven't got a partner yet, but that's okay. Also, the highlight is realising at the end of this year that I need to focus more on my finances and other stuff than a relationship at the moment. So, and the career side of things, so I really need to get that nipped in the bud next year, particularly going forward in my life, and really focus on that, but keep all my lovely friendships. So I think it's helped as well having friends that I'm not so hyper romantic as I was before, because I would, I'd go completely hyper romantic, and I think it's calmed down a little bit because I've got these 3 amazing friends in my life that do give me so much, that now I'm not so lacking in my life, if you know what I mean, because I've got really good friends to talk to who understand me. And I think that's a really good thing, with this whole, the meetup, that I do, and meeting these 3 guys in particular. It's like I've got someone finally who understands me, and it's more than just one person. It's like 3 different people, and they've all got beautiful qualities, and they're all really nice people to talk to and be around. And so, it's made me feel better in my life in general. Not that I can't be by myself and be okay on my own, because I can be, but it's really nice if you've got some good quality friends. I think, as human beings, we need that connection, and we need good connections. I don't have to have tons of friends. I have got a lot of online friends, but genuine friends, like these 3 guys are my genuine friends. I've still got my best friend, who's not asexual. She has been in hospital recently, but she's come out. So at the moment she's living and breathing on her own, and she's on the mend, but she's just had a brain scan. So that's not got anything really to do with asexuality, but it's an asexual highlight for me in the sense I didn't lose my best friend, who I'm out to about being asexual, So she was in a critical, she hasn't had a life-threatening condition, which we both didn't realise till she went in there. And I know that's not, really anything to do with asexuality, but I'm asexual. She knows I am, and I just wanted to throw it in there that I'm grateful that she's still alive, basically. So, do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's nice to pay thanks to being, because she does know I'm asexual. I'm talking to her about it all the time. So, and she said I'd do good on stage. Yeah, so the Asexuality conference was amazing. I've never done anything like that before. Not only was I there, but I was speaking at it, like I said, for 45 minutes. And I also took part in a panel discussion. So it was actually twice. So that was an amazing, incredible experience of my life. I'd always wanted to be a speaker in London for a couple of years now. So the fact I got to be it with Asexuality was incredible. And another highlight of my year was on the same day of the conference, I officially launched on the 8th of July my Asexualized Academy, which is the world's very, 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 very first online training centre and school for asexuals and asexuality. And I did the first ever online course for asexuals in the world. I mean, that's incredible. There's other people that's going to follow my suit now, because I've seen people writing stuff. I've seen a company, organisation, shall I say, writing stuff about courses they're going to do. So, but I'm actually the first one to ever do one. And next year I'm going to be doing paid courses. The course that's available at the moment is a free course, which is Asexuality Basics for Beginners. I've currently got 23 students on that. So people who, are going through the process of, like, all the videos and everything. It's a video training course. It's the first time I've ever done a online video training course for asexuals, and this year actually I did another course which wasn't for asexuals, which is a video course. It's the first year I've ever done online video course training, but the one for asexuals is obviously really good. And next year I'm going to be doing the paid for course. I've been doing research in my groups at the end of this year to find out what people want in terms of paid for courses, and what they'd be happy to pay for, and I've actually got good feedback from that. So I've got a number of topics listed down which people have said that they would like to have, so that is really positive. That's a highlight of 2018. I've got like 9 course sort of topics listed, and there's about between 3 and 5 that are really interesting for people, so that's good. It takes people to more advanced learning that want to do that. I'm still doing all the free stuff. And then another highlight is I've been live streaming on this channel every day since the 1st of July, apart from one night I couldn't do it, which was when my friend was rushed into hospital, and I didn't get back out of the hospital from seeing her till just gone midnight. So, and I had to rush over there. I couldn't start streaming. So I had a fall as well before, so I was really shook up. I didn't have time to really go on the stream. I was like hobbling to into the taxi and up there. So yeah, my mind, and I can't have this be live stream in the hospital. So that's the only night I missed. But I've gained so many more views. I've been gaining subscribers gradually and views. I think before I started live streaming, I was on 28,000 views. That's lifetime views since October, the October 2015. But since I've been live streaming, like the last time I looked, I think was a few weeks ago, I was up to 46,000 views, which means I've gained over 10. Well, I've gained about 16,000 or more views since July this year. So, I've got a lot more exposure by doing these live streams. So that's been a real highlight for me. And also being able to do them. Like, I don't script these things. There's no script written down. Sometimes I do write topics. Like, if I come up with a topic in the day, I will write a topic headline down and stuff like that. So I know the subject will come to me like, oh, I've got to talk about that tonight. But usually I have it in my head. But this is all ad-libs, I haven't got any notes here about what I'm talking about. I'm just talking from my heart directly to you guys. And, it all comes out naturally. And to be able to do that is a real skill. So while I'm talking to you guys, I'm actually practicing the skill of ad-libbing. It's called, when you're training to be a speaker, because I have actually done speaker training. I've been to speaker training in London. There's actually... it's called something, I think, I can't remember. It begins with EX, Exper. I can't remember. I'm going to try and say some weird name now. But basically, it's when you can talk for a long period of time without actually having anything written in front of you. No notes, no, I've not got PowerPoint here or anything when I'm talking to you. Do you know what I mean? It's all when you kind of just know it in your head and your heart, and you just come out with it without having any prompts. So it's a special technique, and all the people who are really professional speakers who do it for a living are able to do that for at least 45 minutes, up to 2 hours they do it for usually. So, it's a very good practice for me being able to do that. And I'm surprised myself at how much I can talk about all different topics. And when we're on here, like sometimes I can talk about 3 different topics at once, which kind of confuses you guys at sometimes. But you tend to go off on tangents sometimes too. So I kind of follow your lead, and then other times I'm going off on tangents. So it's all good. And I've made some wonderful friends on YouTube. So yeah, I have to give a huge shout out to you guys. Hi, Lewis. Nice to see you. So obviously Michael watches nearly every single show, so I consider him to be a big YouTube friend. He's amazing. So I found that a really nice experience. Like, it's a lot better when you're live streaming to have an audience. Like, if I was live streaming all the time to no one, it's very disconcerting. Do you know what I mean? So a highlight this year has not only been me live streaming, but the fact I've had an audience to live stream too. I mean, at the moment there's 4 people watching this. It's, and at one point there was 7 this week. You know what I mean? So it's going up in people watching me, which is really nice. And it means I'm able to chat to you directly rather than just post stuff. You can have live conversations here to help yourself and other people. So, Michael's always tuning in. He's like one of my top viewers, and so is Heather as well. She's a YouTube friend. So, I'm really, and Andy, who's already my friend outside of YouTube, he comes to meetups. He watches a lot of my channel as well. And obviously, I have to say one of my highlights was meeting someone else who watches this channel called Martin. I actually met him for the first time in person this year after 2 years of knowing each other online. We met for the UK Asexuality conference, and we got on really, really well. And we both met up in London. We both shared the same hotel, not the same room, but we were near each other. And we had a really good time, enjoyed each other's company. I'd Skyped him before, and we know each other online for 2 years. He was one of the very first people who watched this channel. And so that was really incredible experience for me to be able to spend a few days with him. and you know, in person, and he did the videoing of my speeches, you know, what I was talking about for this channel. So that was another highlight of my asexuality year. So there's been like tons of them really, and just doing more meetups and meeting, you know, more people, different types of people. You know, I've met a couple of foreign guys who've come to my meetups, so that's been good. Well, actually I've met 3 foreign guys. I'm not sure, was one of them this year or one of them last year? But yeah, so that's been really good for me to meet foreign guys. Actually in the UK they're asexual, non-suitable for a relationship with me, but at least it gives me hope, do you know what I mean? But it's been really nice to I found a nice Chinese restaurant that all the asexuals loved. The last time they came to my meetup, I got feedback, positive feedback from everyone about the Chinese restaurant I took them to. So that was really good. So that's another highlight, when you pick a venue or pick somewhere and people enjoy it and you get good feedback, that always feels great. So yeah, there's been so much stuff. Obviously more people have read my Asexual Perspectives book. I was in FemMedic, if you remember. So FemMedic is an online magazine. So I had an article about asexuality, dating and relationships, and that was interviewed for FemMedic. So that's shown in a previous video. So that was, again, got lots of eyeballs on asexuality. It got lots of interest, what I was actually talking about in the article. So that was another highlight. That was really, really lovely. I loved doing that. And you know, obviously I made design some more asexuality t-shirts. I've been selling a few of those for Christmas recently. So I got quite a new, I spent about 3 weeks getting a lot more new designs out. I haven't sold loads of those designs, but I've sold a few of the new ones I've been doing. So that's been good. So, you know, getting the word of asexuality out there, getting the designs out there has been really good. I got my own asexual hoodie this year as well. That was amazing. An asexual friend bought me that. So that was really incredible of him. So yeah, it's just been a really, really good year for asexuality. I think, you know, people have recognised me more now as well online, because I've been getting a lot more private messages going, oh, you the person on YouTube that I see, or I watch your channel a lot and I really like it and stuff like that. So that's been really good. So I do really think that the word is getting out there about asexuality. I know someone sent me a message on Asexuality. I haven't actually been into Asexuality to read it, but it comes through my email. And they're on about, oh, do you know David J, blah, blah, blah. Actually, I'm friends with David J on Facebook, but he doesn't speak to me. He's the founder of asexuality.org, Avon, if you want to know. But yeah, it's like the person quite fancies him by the sound of it. I think he's got a girlfriend, as far as I know, anyway. But yeah, they were saying, oh, do you know? And they said, oh, he's the most famous person in the world to do asexuality. And they said, oh, but you're the second. So I don't think I am the second, but if I am, that's nice. Do you know what I mean? It was a compliment. Anyway, because there's another person over in America, and she's quite big in America. So, but I don't think she's very well known in the UK, actually. So, do you know what I mean? But, you know, it's all about getting the word of asexuality out there. And I really feel that I am helping to make a difference in some way. I'd like to make a bigger difference, I'll be honest with you. I'd like to really get asexuality much more recognised as a sexual orientation throughout the globe, so that no asexual has to live in fear of ridicule ever again. Obviously next year when I start doing my paid for courses, that will enhance asexual life. It will, you know, it'll be for the people who really want to invest in their learning and education, who want to develop themselves in different ways. And the topics are related to asexuality, but they're also, some of them, like, you could do them in and of themselves even if you weren't asexual. But, you know, asexuality will come into it because obviously they're aimed at asexuals, but some of the topics are, you know, interchangeable. So for example, how to become more confident. So as I noticed, a lot of asexuals really lack a lot of confidence, especially around their asexuality. But obviously, you know, skills you learn for confidence building, you can take to any sort of aspect of your life once you learn them. So that's one that seems to be quite popular, that people are interested in. So it'll be doing different stuff for asexuals, so that's good, you know. But I'm just so pleased that I've actually got an academy out now, you know, and I will be doing more courses, and hopefully that'll become better known. I know one person messaged me I said, oh, I'm so glad you've got an academy. It's just a shame you're not in America. We could do with you here. I thought that was really lovely of them. And I've got a chat bubble on my asexualized.com site, and I've been getting quite a few messages through that, so that's working out quite well. Someone asked me about my book because they wanted to buy it, so that was good. And another person wanted advice, which was really nice. I had a person come to me about advice who's not asexual, who's a lesbian but got an asexual girlfriend, and they wanted advice. And I said, I gave them some advice and said, I think my book will help you because it's got sexuals in it who are with asexuals. So asexuals who are in partnerships with asexuals, and asexuals who are with other asexuals. But it'll be interesting for that person to read how a sexual and asexual can work out. But I was so happy that a sexual person came to me saying they've got an asexual girlfriend, they really want them to feel comfortable, and how can they help them? I mean, my hat goes off to people who are sexual like that. It really does, because I think that's a really caring thing, and that's what I'd like the world to be more like. That is my mission. I want asexuals and sexuals to live side by side together. I want a lot more understanding between the two, so that we're able to form more relationships in the future. I'm not saying that all sexuals are going to want to be with asexuals, because if we don't want it, for the asexuals that don't want sex, that's going to be a lot more difficult for the ones who don't, or not prepared to have it. I mean, personally, I don't want to have it these days, and I think it's good if you're like that. But obviously, if you're asexual who's more open to having sex now and again or sometimes, then you stand a little bit of higher chance of being able to get a relationship, because you could possibly be with a sexual, but usually a sexual does want it a lot more often than even an asexual who doesn't mind it sometimes would want, on average, I'd say. But it still gives hope. But yeah, I was really happy that this person contacted me privately and said how can they make their homo-romantic girlfriend basically more comfortable. And so I presume homo-romantic. They were homo and asexual, so they could be homo-aromantic for all I know. But they said they're female, they're lesbian, their female partner. So that was lovely. I thought that was a really nice highlight as well of my year, because it's someone wanting to help their asexual partner out. So it just goes to prove that not everyone who's sexual is not understanding towards asexuals, because some of them are. Also, the highlight as well, when I went to the UK Asexuality conference and I was a speaker there, I did in the morning I did a meet and greet for a lot of people and handed some leaflets out and told people what I did about my academy and the free course. And this one woman who's called Kelly, she sometimes watches this show, so hi Kelly. She came up with my book and she got a copy, a hard copy. If you haven't seen my book, whoops, I'm gonna have to have a quick drink, sorry. If you haven't seen my book, this is it. It's a big book. It's like 560 pages. I actually love getting it in the printed, because I always keep bookmarks in it. Because I think it's easier to read than the printed, but ebooks like inexpensive anyway. But yeah, she came with this book, right, her copy, and she'd literally gone through loads of it and highlighted all like yellow and stuff, all these paragraphs that were relevant to her. And she asked me to sign my book, and I just felt so proud. I mean, I've signed a couple of other books. I think I've signed 3 other books in the past. But for her to come to the conference with a copy of my book specifically for me to sign it, it just felt amazing. And she'd only found out she was asexual 3 months before the conference, and she'd gone through the whole book. And another good thing was her husband was there. Her sexual husband had come to support her and learn about asexuality. Again, my hat goes off to him, and that was another highlight for me, having a sexual person there who's supporting his wife, as well as the wife, going through this and asking me to sign the book. That felt really good. But it's not just about signing the book. The whole point I was trying to get at is she'd, highlighted loads of paragraphs that were relevant to her life of excuse me, of how the book had helped her, because that's what I designed the book for. This book is to answer any questions you could possibly have about asexualities. It's all the questions I used to get asked constantly in private message over and over and over again. And I thought, just let me get a book out. Let me ask a ton of people for you, so it's not just my opinion you've got, but you've got 46 other asexuals in there. In this book, it's a 47. It's called 47 stories because I'm the 47th. But but it's because it's all different people's stories, not just mine. and each of their own stories is a chapter in its own right, so that's really nice. So I just thought it's, you know, just to help someone like that who's just starting out their asexual journey is really important. Obviously, in terms of my groups, I run 5 asexuality groups now. So this year I took on a British group. It was specifically the UK Asexuality support group. Now, I've never took over a group before. I had 4 groups of my own that I actually founded. You know, I born them. I gave birth to them, if you like, if you want a birth term. But, you know, basically, I started them from scratch. But the UK Asexuality support group had no admin anymore. And I saw it, I'm like, can I really, really, really take on a 5th group with everything I do? Because I have 3 Facebook business pages. I do this channel. I have the blog on asexualized.com. You know, I have my Asexualized Academy now. I'm like, can I really take on a 5th one? But I hadn't got a UK group, and I really wanted a UK asexuality group. And it's a very small group, but it can grow, right? And I just wanted it, you know. I thought it's really nice to be part of an asexual UK group. There is someone who actually organises another group for asexuals in the UK. But yes, I'm not going to say too much about him other than to say, and the group he runs, other than to say that I'm not in it. And yeah, it's not feasible for me to be in it. So I think I've always wanted to get my own UK group. So yeah, I took it over, and it's the UK Asexuality Support and UK Dating group now. So we can use it for both. And I'm really happy that I've got, you know, some UK people in there. I live in the UK, you know, all my groups are usually for people all over the world. But I do think it's really important, if you have got a little group, that you can, you know, speak to people as well in your own country. Because I think when you're dating and wanting a relationship, I think it's quite good if you can find someone in your own country, because then you've not got to move. Hi, Martin. I did mention you earlier. You missed that, unless you saw it and was hiding in secret. I said one of my highlights of asexuality was meeting you, you know, and spending time with you when we went to the UK Asexuality conference. And I said that we stayed in a hotel, separate rooms, but in the same hotel. And I had a really nice time meeting you. And you've been like one of my first viewers ever on here. So I did mention you, see. I've just mentioned you again now. So, dang, I was going to ask if you've gone over the asexual conference thing. Yes, I have. You're too late for that. You'll have to rewind this. I mean, go and watch it later on. So, yeah, I mentioned all that. But, yeah, he was my cameraman, weren't you, Martin? And I forgot to say I said that he recorded the videos, but he actually did all the editing for the UK Asexuality Conference talks as well. So I was really happy about that. But it was lovely to meet Martin. We got on really well. So that was really, really good. We enjoyed eating out together and all the conference stuff. It was really cool. So, yeah, it's really nice when you see someone online and finally you get to meet them in person. When you get on really well with them, it's good. So, yeah, so pretty much I just had really good highlights this year. You know, I can't say anything but how great it's been in terms of, like, stuff I've done for asexuality. It's just incredible, you know. And it's really, and like I said, to actually have the world's first online academy, training academy for asexuals, is, you know, going forward with that next year is going to be incredible, you know. So really good stuff coming up, you know. I can't wait to do some paid for courses. And, you know, for the people, I'm still going to be doing all the free stuff, but, you know, for people who want to take their learning much more advanced and, you know, dive into topics to really grow themselves personally, you know, and you know, want that type of deep help, you know, it's going to be really, really good. Because, I mean, there's courses for everything else, isn't there? We pay to go to university. We, you know, we might have to buy books for college. You know, there's loads of courses we might have to buy in our lives to do different things. And it's just about time we had some for asexuals, really, I think, you know. Because obviously this all means that it's taken more seriously as well by society. The more things we have for asexuals, the more asexual merchandise we have, the more asexual books, the more asexual, you know, courses and things like this and conferences, the more we'll be taken seriously, because the more we expand our reach, as it were, and the more we expand our knowledge and other people's, the more we become bigger force for the world, which is what I want, you know. I want us to be taken notice of globally, you know, and recognised for the beautiful people we are. I want people to understand us a lot more, because there's a lot of people that still don't get asexuality, you know. But I think they're trying more people now, you know. And with me being connected to a lot of entrepreneurs, I've got a lot more entrepreneurs now, like people who sort of speak on stage and do a lot of things in their own lives with their own businesses, that actually know more about asexuality now. And that's good, because these people are thought leaders. They're not people who sit behind a computer screen and don't ever go out in their life. They're people who genuinely get out there, have business meetings. So a lot of them speak on stage around the world, you know. They're very active, proactive, and these people, you know, they might come across someone like us and recognise an asexual, and they certainly take an interest in it, quite a lot of them. So I just think, you know, it's been really good to educate them more. And I think going forward, that's a really big thing. That's why I integrated business and asexuality together, because I love business. And the only really way you're going to be taken seriously is if you kind of amalgamate the two. That's how I see it, because I need to get, my mission anyway, is to get thought leaders to know about asexuality. The more thought leaders we get around the world, the more people that are the ones that will go around speaking about it, you know, go around knowing, you know, that know a lot of people, a network, the bigger and bigger asexuality become better known. That's not how many people think, but that's how I think, because I come from a business mindset, because it's just natural to me. So I just think by combining the two, it's a really good thing, you know. It's a different thing. It's not what people would usually do with asexuality. But, you know, I mean, some people were saying about, you know, like, oh, Avon, for example, asexuality.org, all their websites free, everything they do is free. But if you didn't know already that asexuality.org, Avon, is a registered charity in the United States, so it can't do stuff like everyone else has to do to run their business. It has to like do voluntary stuff and rely on donations and things. It can't start putting like commercial ads all over its website and stuff like that. Do you see what I mean? But you know, they were saying, they weren't saying something to me, but there's a person apparently who started doing workshops, paid for workshops for asexuality in their country. I think I know who's doing it. I knew they were doing workshops. I wasn't sure if it was free or not. And I think it's a good thing. But some people haven't liked it because they said, well, asexuality is not a business. But one of the people who was saying this, however, part of what they're involved in is a business. So, you know, it becomes, so for example, Asexuality, right, is a website, right? It's a dating website for asexuals. It's still a business, because, you know, it runs ads, paid for ads. That's how it pays for the site, but it's also got a subscription. So on Asexuality, you can sign up for free, you can become a member for free, you can even put your own details about, you know, where to get you on social media off the site, so you don't have to actually pay for it, which most asexual, well most dating sites, they have special software that if you write your own email address or your own profiles off that site for people to be diverted onto, they will literally shut your account down. They will look out for it and it will stop you either writing it, remove it, because they don't want you to go, you know, they don't want you to just use the site for free, and they won't allow you to do that. But Asexuality does. But for those who want to private message and stay on Asexuality, they charge a yearly fee. I personally don't have a problem with that, because I think people need to maintain their websites. They've got staff that do have to deal with technical issues. You know, you need to keep a site going. You know, it costs money. And asexuals should pay for stuff like that, just like any business. When, you know, you go and visit a website, people buy products and services from websites, and that's what keeps a website going, you know, whether that be advertising, that you click on an ad and buy something, or whether that's, you know, an actual product or service direct from the website. In order for any website usually to make to be profitable, to keep it going, it needs to be making money. It's a fact of life. People need to eat, you know what I mean? But when something's a registered charity like asexuality.org, Avon, that's why they do things differently. That's why, you know, everything is tending to be free on there, because they're a registered charity. So the rules are slightly different for them, you know. And then there's ASAP, you know, but ASAP is still a business model. It still has advertising on there. So that also is, you know, a business in effect. So, you know, there are already people that, you know, and people that design all the merchandise. These are all money-making things. Whether or not, I mean, I personally don't barely make any money. I cover my business insurance a lot of the time, you know. But there's no reason why asexuals can't make money out of stuff to do with asexuality when other people with other sexualities make money. I mean, think of the sex industry, you know, we're ruled by the sex industry, as you'll know. People are you know, you could argue that nothing's a business and everything's a business, because you could say, well, sex is not a business, but a business is made out of it. You could say a loaf of bread isn't a business, but it is. People have to sell bread to eat, you know. People sell bread, people buy it, you know. You can say anything's not a business, but really everything's a business. Choose what you're in, you know. And the more that we get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation throughout the globe, which will require people getting money to be able to expand the word about it, then that's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's a very good thing, you know, as long as it's done with heart, really, and soul, by people who actually are asexual, or people who care about asexuality and really have the hearts of people. But, you know, there's some businesses, they produce asexual t-shirts. They couldn't give a stuff nor monkeys about asexual people or asexuality. They just purely do it for profit. There's big, you know, the big businesses, they might sell a bunch of t-shirts to all different genres. We're one that can sell quite well, so they will do that. So there are some people that are in the business of asexuality which aren't actually heartfelt, you know. There's nothing really than, oh, you know, what designs are selling, I'll do something similar and then I'll make money, you see. So there's always going to be that side of the business to any business, you know. But you know, the people that are actually, you know, heartfelt and sincere, I think even more so deserve to make some money if they're doing all the work and helping a lot of asexuals and doing a lot of stuff, you know. We need to stop thinking about being narrow-minded and people not making any money, and we need to think about, you know, that a lot of people do stuff for free with asexuality, and that's great. But in order to make a bigger impact, you know, that requires a lot of money in the world. It really does, you know. If you're going to travel, for example, to speak, you've got to pay for that. If you're having websites, you've still got to pay for the hosting fees. Whatever you do, you know, to expand, even when you're designing a book, you've still got all the cover to pay for, the formatting to pay for, you know, and there's only so much you can do yourself, you know. It's good that if you have investment in stuff like that. So going forward, I think it's a good thing that we have more paid for stuff for asexuals, for those who want it. For those who don't, there's tons of free stuff that'll always be out there. And like I said, I'm so happy that I've been live streaming constantly on this channel since July the 1st, apart from the one night my friend was in hospital, because, you know, that has been a highlight, getting to do this live stuff all the time. I've never done live very much since this year, and I'm just doing it all the time now. My voice keeps going. So it's been absolutely incredible. A really, really good highlight of my year doing this. And to be able to talk directly with the people who I really care about has just been amazing. You know, to be able to talk to you guys, interact back and forth, has just been absolutely incredible. And I've also got some ideas going forward for other books I'd like to write for asexuals. So that's been good as well. That's been another highlight of my year. So I think there's been a lot of good things this year that's happened. Really nice stuff. Met tons of lovely people, and I'm just really looking forward to, you know, building on those foundations going through until, you know, all the way through 2019. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful year, I think, 2019. I think it's going to be the best ever, to be honest, where asexuality is concerned. And my life in general, and this channel in general, I think it's going to fly. So anyway, if you've enjoyed tonight's video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to have some thumbs up from you guys. And I want to say a big, huge thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Obviously, all of you are my highlight. So Scary Jerry, it's the first time I think I've met you this year. You're welcome, Martin. So thank you so much. I think it's the first time I met Scary Jerry on here this year. So obviously that's a highlight. When I meet anyone new on this channel, it's been great. Lou is a new watcher. I'm not sure if he's on tonight. Obviously, like I said, Michael and Heather, thank you very much for watching. And also Martin, who's been watching as well. Andy, who's been watching. You've been incredible. If I've missed anyone out, I think there was someone else here at the beginning of this live stream as well. So thank you very much for tuning in. My highlight is really just getting more viewers on here as well, getting asexuality better known and recognised. It's been really amazing. Thank you, Andy, and thank you for the thumbs up. Any more would be appreciated. Remember, please share this video with any friends who may benefit. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Sandra. Have a good night. Yeah, It's been incredible. And thank you for being here with me on this asexual journey in 2018. I know we're going to rock 2019. I'm really looking forward to it. But you haven't got rid of me that easily yet, because as you know, I will be back again with another live stream. Woohoo! Feeling good, people. Anyway, don't forget to hit that bell icon if you've subscribed, so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because I'd love to have you as part of my community here. This community is growing and I'm so grateful and thankful for that. As a huge highlight in 2018. I would love to finish the year off by getting to 4,000 subscribers if that's possible. So if you think you've got any friends that would love this channel, please do tell them to come and subscribe and join us here. We can have a chat online, or they can just sit quietly and listen and watch and enjoy. And anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's, and I will see you on the very next live stream or video. It's been an absolute pleasure. Night, Michael. Night, Andy. Night, Martin. Night, Heather. Night, Scary Jerry. And night, everyone else that is watching. Really beautiful to see you. Take care. Bye. Have a fun night.